Hi everyone, welcome to my very first vlog. I don't normally do this kind of thing, normally I'm the one behind the camera. Today is an extra special occasion. As you can probably already tell, I've got my mini ears on. I've just recently come back from Florida, in fact it was 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to share with you my Walt Disney World haul. So I'm going to go through all of the items I bought while I was over there and show you what sort of stuff you can get in the parks at the moment. I've got stuff as well from malls and from Walmart and places like that, but I'm going to save that, do it in a separate video, and then I will give you a link to that, put it down there in a description as soon as that's available. I have both Disney items and a couple of items from Universal Studios. I know there's probably people who don't like Universal Studios as much as Disney, or at all even, so I'm going to do the Universal items last and the Disney items first, so if there's anyone that wants to, they can just check out as soon as I start the Universal items. I'm going to start with the stuff that money can't buy. So the first thing I've got down here, and I'm sure probably a lot of you have had one of these over the times that you've been to Florida, but I've noticed actually this year they've got a new design. It's my birthday badge! I had my birthday while I was over there, so I got a birthday badge. It did originally have my name on, but it was so hot it got rubbed off. As you can see, yeah, it's a new colour and it's got a new design. The badges I've had in the past, I've had an orange one, and I think it had Mickey and some confetti on, but this year they've changed it to a nice greeny teal one. It says happy birthday and it's got Mickey on holding up a cake. The next thing I've got is a freebie. Again, something money can't buy, you just get it for free if you happen to be so lucky. My lei! I'll try and get it on over my mini ears. I got this from Ohana. If you've been to Ohana, you'll know how it works, but if you haven't been, it's all based on like Hawaii and Polynesian themes and Lilo and Stitch, and what happens is they just keep bringing you food out. So they bring you loads of meat on skewers, and they bring you plates of noodles and vegetables and that kind of thing, and it's all really tasty. But what they also have is they have a host there. So what he does is he walks around playing a banjo ukulele type thing, and he was really good actually. He was, the one thing I remember him singing specifically was the Lava song, the song from the short film Lava that came out last year with Inside Out, and that was obviously really nice. But as well as singing, he hosts all sorts of games and stuff that people can join in with. And the reason I have my lei is because at one point during the evening he got on the microphone and he said, does anyone have a birthday in May? And I was like, I do. And there was a table, there was me, my boyfriend and my mum and my dad, and I'm shy, introverted, I don't really do those kind of things, but they all were like, you've got a birthday in May, you've got a birthday in May, you've got to go up there. And I was like, no. They practically forced me to go up, so I ran up there quickly because I thought maybe he was finishing up because I'd gotten up there so late. He went round us all and asked our names and where we were from, and I was the only person from the UK, so that was quite nice because it gives you, it's a bit boring when you get lots of people that say they're from the same place. So yeah, then he gave everyone that went up a lei. I'm always really funny about stuff like that because I wonder if they think that it's not really my birthday and I'm just pretending, but obviously I wasn't pretending, it was my birthday, just not on that day. So this is my money can't buy freebie lei from Ohana. The next thing I have, technically money can buy you it, a lot of money can buy you it. This is my Magic Kingdom After Hours lanyard. So basically After Hours was a special event they did at Magic Kingdom, and I'm pretty sure they only did about 5 or 6. They did them throughout April and May. They weren't the most popular thing because it was actually $150 per ticket, and that was on top of whatever ticket you got. But the good thing about them was they were $150, but if you didn't have a ticket, they included your entry to Magic Kingdom, but only from 7 PM onwards. If you did have a ticket already, you could go into the park before 7 PM and enjoy the day, and then you could go and check in for the after hours party and get this whenever you felt like it. So basically what the after hours event was, the park was open for 3 hours after closing time. So we went on Sunday, May the 8th, which I think was like the third party, it might have even been the second. The park closed that night at 11 PM, so we were able to stay until 2 AM. And during that time, basically, we had the run of the park. So I did a bit of research before I booked it, and I heard that tickets were limited to 3,000 people. And when I looked it up, actually, apparently in a day, Magic Kingdom has on average 52,000 visitors. So imagine having the park with 50,000 less people than would normally be in there. So it was empty and amazing. And we were very lucky because I'd read about these and I was like, who is going to pay that kind of money? I would never ever pay that. And then just the week before we flew out, they announced, I'd heard that ticket sales weren't very good, and they'd announced that they were now going to make the party half price for DVC and annual pass holders. Now luckily me and my boyfriend are both annual pass holders, so I was able to get this for $75 each. So it was $150 for both of us, and at that time I think it came up on my credit card statement as about £106. And if you have a look on the back, technically not all of the attractions were open, but everything you could want to go on was open. So it lists on the back exactly what was open during the 3 hours. And so yeah, it was the majority of the rides in the park, and on top of that, we were also able to get free ice creams and beverages during the 3 hours. So I think I took about 3 bottles and just stocked them in my backpack. I had 3 ice creams and my boyfriend had 2, so we got our fill. It was really great, and yeah, it was just a really magical experience that I won't forget. It's probably mostly aimed at couples or smaller families. I would recommend it. And I actually, while I was over there, I do a trip report, so I have notes from every day of the holiday, and when I've got them completed, I will post my trip report day of the day we went to this, and you can hear in more detail all about what that was like, and that'll be up on my blog. That concludes the money can't buy section. Move on to accessories, because I don't have as many as them. Oh, it's got a hair on it. My first accessory is this Tower of Terror keyring. The Hollywood Tower Hotel logo. It says room 1313. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for dropping in, that makes more sense. And on the back it's got the logo again, of course, a little bigger. And this was, I don't know what this cost, I just know that it was a purple item. And the reason I bought this is because I actually went to Paris in December, to Disneyland Paris, and I bought there a really, really nice keyring from their Tower of Terror. And it was very similar to this, except it was a key. It was a gold key to the room 1313. So I had to get this because it matched. And that gold key hangs on my handbag. So I'm going to add this on my handbag. And I am truly the #1 guest of room 1313. The next item I have is, I would say, probably one of the most popular items of merchandise they have in the park. They are in people's cars, but anyway, because they're relatively cheap. They're 2 for $8, and there's all different patterns to suit everyone, and they're really, like, they're the sort of thing that you see when you're outside of Disney and you're like, that person has been to Disney, and it makes you a little bit excited inside. They're my antenna toppers! So first I got the Mickey's Premium Bar one. Obviously I had to get that because I love Mickey's Premium Bars, who doesn't? And then I got the Haunted Mansion. I love the Haunted Mansion sort of imagery and stuff, and I love the ghosts. And the reason I picked this actually was mainly because it says I glow. So I thought it's going to be absolutely perfect for when the winter gets nearer and the nights in the UK get darker. It starts to get dark at about 3 o'clock and you're driving home from work in the dark, and I just thought this little guy's going to be amazing sat on my antenna. And I haven't tried either of them yet, so I don't actually know if they fit on my car's antenna. So that was one of the reasons I was really excited to do this video, because I haven't looked at any of these items since I came home. I've just had them in the corner waiting to do this video so I could share them with you. And then finally I'm going to get to have these things once I shared them with you. So I'm really excited. I think after this video I'm probably going to go downstairs to my car and put this straight on it. Okay, the next accessory I have is something which you can't get in the UK at the moment. It's an item of jewellery. It's a Disney Pandora charm. What they do in Walt Disney World is they have park exclusive charms, and they have like a range of charms. They have a Tree of Life emblem for Animal Kingdom, and then they have a dangly Magic Kingdom castle, Sleeping Beauty castle, Cinderella's castle, oh my god, I can't believe I got that wrong, which I got last year on our last trip, and that is really, really beautiful, and that was probably the main Disney charm that I wanted. So this year I didn't actually buy any, except the one I'm about to show you, obviously. The reason I decided to get this particular charm was to remind me of all the memorable evenings we had watching fireworks while we were there. But this year we were so lucky with fireworks, not just at Magic Kingdom, but the Star Wars fireworks, which are amazing, and Illuminations, which it's pretty impossible there to get a bad seat anyway. And on the final evening we went to watch Wishes, and it was the best view I've ever had of Wishes, and it was just the best view I ever had, and I turned around and said, I have to go and buy the Wishes charm. So when you buy a Disney Parks Pandora, you get it in this special box. It says Disney Parks, and they're not cheap, to be honest. I think this must have cost me about $80, which is just insane, and that's why I don't make a habit of buying them. But it says Wishes, it's in black enamel, and the black enamel is sparkly, so I'll just try and turn that around a little. There's cubic zirconias in there as well, but it's really lovely. So it says Wishes, and that will forever remind me of the amazing views we had of the fireworks. So the next item I have is a bit of a smaller one, really, probably one for the kids, so I'm not quite sure why I've got it, but I am a child at heart. I think everyone who goes to Disney is. So these are just hair bubbles. One of the last days I really needed to tie my hair up because I was so hot, and anyone with long hair in Florida will know there are times when it's not bearable to have your hair down, and I desperately needed some hair bubbles. So we were in Hollywood Studios at the time, and I stumbled upon a pack of these, and actually in the pack you got double this amount because my mom paid for them and she took half. I think they were about $11, so they weren't cheap, and quite frankly that's a ridiculous price to pay for hair bubbles, but well, I didn't pay it technically, so little sparkly Mickey heads on. The next item I got is another piece of jewellery, and now I've seen these before but I've never bought one, and I'll be honest, I've never really liked them that much, but I am in quite a few Disney groups on Facebook, and in one of the groups while we were over there, somebody posted, does anyone out there have any of these bracelets? And people were posting their pictures of them, and basically what you are supposed to do with these, they're bangles, and you're supposed to stack them up, so just get loads and loads of them on your arm. And I think that's when I started to like them, when I realised all the different combinations you could have. So I've only got one at the moment, but it's the Alex and Annie Walt Disney World bracelet. So it's special to Walt Disney World, that's the only place you can get it. It's got, again, Cinderella's castle on and the Walt Disney World logo. So I think it's really nice. It didn't come with any box or anything, which is a bit of a pain, but it came with it a little book about Alex and Annie and how they make their bracelets with positivity. It'll make me feel good when I'm at home and I'm feeling negative because I'm not at Disney anymore. These are actually really cheap. I think I only paid $40 for this. It came out on my credit card statement as £26, and this was actually a birthday gift from my parents. On my next trip I'll get more. There's actually a BB-8 one which is really nice, so I'll probably get that. I was thinking I didn't have any more accessories to show you, and then I realised that I do actually. I have my favourite one. This is my favourite accessory that I got on the holiday, so I hope you can see it well enough. But this is I think it's Vera Bradley, I don't even know who it's by. This is a Vera Bradley backpack, and I didn't actually buy this in the parks. I bought this at the Character Warehouse outlet in the premium outlets. In Orlando, there's 2 sets of premium outlets. One of them's at the bottom of iDrive near to SeaWorld, and one's at the top of iDrive further past Universal Studios. Now the one with the better character warehouse is the one near SeaWorld. I always used to think the one further past Universal was better, but in actual fact I'm pretty sure the one next to SeaWorld is now better. The character warehouse is huge and amazing, whereas the one near Universal is teeny. So if you're only looking for character warehouse stuff, go to the one by SeaWorld. I paid $55 for this, and I'm not sure what it would have retailed at in the shops, but they had some backpacks of a similar size to this by Vera Bradley, and they were selling for well over $100, so it was a bit of a bargain really. But I had to have it because I loved the royal blue of it, and I thought it was quite subtle. I mean, it's not as subtle as some of the designs they have, but I love it. Afterwards I realised I'm not sure whether it's actually a laptop carrier bag, but this would never fit my laptop in because my laptop's huge. But it's flat on the top, and that's another reason why I like it, because I always say that one of my pet peeves is that when I wear a backpack, I never have enough stuff in the backpack to stuff the top of the backpack as well, so it always sags at the top. And this doesn't do that, obviously, because it's sculpted at the top, so it's not a problem, and it's great. I used it as a park bag the whole time I was there because I bought this on about the second day, so I had it the whole time, and it's just brilliant. It's got pockets everywhere, hidden pockets and all sorts, and it's magnetic here, which keeps that down, and it's just a great bag. Okay, let's move on to the clothing. Now, I have to be honest, I don't have that much clothing this time around because I bought most of my clothing in the malls, so that will be in my other haul video. So the first thing I have to show you is the one item that I bet 90% of people who go to Disney World have got, and it's not because it's cheap either, which I'll explain to you. So I'm not going to fold it all out because I'll never get it back in, but it was the Disney Parks poncho, and it's got the name of all where the different parks are. Actually, it says Paris, and I'm going to Paris in December, so I can take this then. And it's got a castle design on it, and it's pretty good. It keeps you dry. And so the night I got this, it was pouring down. We had 1.5 days of rain while we were there, and we had one evening in Hollywood Studios, and it wouldn't stop raining. And I had a rain mac on because I got a Mickey Mouse rain mac from Primark, and it was soaked through. It wasn't doing anything. It couldn't stand up to the rain. So in the end I gave in, and I went in the shop. I said, the next shop I find, I'm buying a poncho. So I went in the main shop on the main street of Hollywood Studios, and I saw a stack of ponchos, and I said to the guy, how much are the ponchos? Because I was pretty sure they were only going to be about $3, $4, maybe $5. $10. $10 for this piece of material. $10. And he just looked at me like, it's Disney World, what do you expect? So I got it, and yeah, it was a complete rip-off. But the funny thing is, as we walked out the shop, we'd split up from my parents at this point, but as we walked out of the shop, we saw my parents sort of huddling under a corner, and they both had a poncho on, so they wasted $20 on ponchos. But I just can't believe it. I bet when it's not raining they sell them for $3. My next item of clothing is again Tower of Terror themed, because I love the Tower of Terror. I think it's probably my favourite ride, and so I kept looking out for a piece of Tower of Terror clothing. This year I spotted a unisex jumper, and I thought it was really nice, so on my last day in the park I bought it. So that's it. It says extended stay, the Hollywood Tower Hotel, falling prices, and it has a bell on it. And we've actually, you can buy Tower of Terror branded bells, and we've actually got one of them downstairs from our trip 2 years ago. I got a medium because I thought it was just standard unisex size, but it's huge. It's far too long on my arms. Obviously I'm still going to wear it, but it's absolutely huge. So if you're, you know, I'm an average UK size, so for a medium to be huge on me is quite weird. I probably could have gone for a small, but then again I think the clothes come a lot bigger over there. So yeah, if you're a sort of average UK size, a small will do you. The next piece of clothing I've got then is a t-shirt that I got from Animal Kingdom. What my boyfriend tends to do is go on Expedition Everest again and again and again because it's his favourite ride, so he'll keep going round and round on single rider, and he'll leave me, and it's always far too hot in Animal Kingdom for me to stand outside, so I always stand in the shop. And when I stand in the shop, I look in the shop and I find stuff I want to buy. So on this occasion I found this. So yeah, It says Expedition Everest, and it's got sort of Himalayan, Indian type, like henna type patterns on it, and it has actually got a Yeti on it, if you can see that. Hopefully you can. So yeah, a really cool t-shirt. I haven't tried it on yet, so I'm not sure about size, but have to say it does look quite skinny, so I'm not sure how that'll fit. Again, this is a medium. My final item of clothing is actually a birthday present from my boyfriend. Darth Vader, her universe dress. So I think this is kind of, I say dumbed down, kind of a dumbed down version of the Her Universe line that you can get in Hot Topic and stuff. They do really expensive fancy dresses. I mean, this was still expensive, but it's more of a basic dress. What was quite funny about it is I was wearing it one day in Hollywood Studios, and one of the cast members in the shop saw me walking past and he went, "My lord," and started bowing to me. So that was really fun, and I just love when little things like that happen. So it's quite thick material for Florida, but for England it's perfect. So that's all of the clothes that I've got in my pile here. So now I'm going to move on to homewares. Oh, you can probably hear that. Adventureland tumblers, and I'm really excited because now I've shown these on the video, it means I can wash them up and put them in our bar. These again from the Character Warehouse. The labels from the park are still on the bottom of them. They say Adventureland on the bottom, and the part label says they should have been $16.95, but I got these for $6 each. They had a lot of matching plates and stuff, but there's just no way I could have brought them home in the suitcase. Tiki tumblers. So the next thing I'm going to show you before I forget is this little guy. I got him in Hollywood Studios with some lemonade in. I think it was $16 for it filled with lemonade, and it didn't include refills or anything, which is a bit of a Disney rip-off, but it's really, the lemonade was tasty, and he even went on Rock and Roller, so he's a brave little BB-8. So now I have another birthday present, so I haven't actually unwrapped this and looked at it since I've been home. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I really love Haunted Mansion and all that kind of jazz and the ghosts, so it's actually a Christmas decoration, but it's really heavy, so I'm not sure how it would hang on a tree, if it would hang that well. So you could just use this as an ornament around the house, which I think is what I'm going to do. It was $22.99, which is slightly more expensive than their other decorations. And it's got the 3 ghosts all chained up. This next thing is still in the packaging, and I genuinely haven't looked at this properly since we came back. So we have a tradition of every year we go, we buy ourselves a new photo frame. So this is this year's photo frame. So according to this receipt, this cost $26.95. Adventureland photo frame. We're big fans of tiki and want to have a tiki bar in our house, so this just fits perfectly in Adventureland, and we're obsessed with the tiki room, so we had to get it. It's very cool. So I actually have one last item that's not here. And I will explain the reason for that. It is a garden ornament. It's in the garden, and I tried to take it out the garden to bring it upstairs, but there's now a spider living on it, so I was too scared. It's got Mickey and Minnie on, sort of with butterflies, and it's like a rain collector, so it tells you how much it's been raining. And it's only rained one or 2 days since I've been home, but it got half a centimetre of rain, which was exciting. And it's got a really nice Flower and Garden Festival logo on the bottom with the year on it, so I'll always know when and where I got it, which is nice. So I don't have that here with me, but you should be seeing video of it right now. So now I actually have 3 final things to show you, which you can probably see because they've been here throughout the whole video. And I think they come as a package, and that is these guys up here. So that's Cogsworth, Lumiere and Chip. So this is Cogsworth. He's he's quite heavy, to be honest, and I feel that he's pretty fragile, but he's super cool. And he only came into the Disney parks towards the end of last year, and he sold out for months. So if you see him, get him. Next is Lumiere. Now I think Lumiere's been in the parks for a year or so now, because I saw him on our last trip, so I think he's fairly easy to get your hands on. He's really cool because if I just turn him on quickly, he actually flickers. I don't know how they've done that, but it is so cool. And these 2 live on our fireplace downstairs. Now I have to say, one thing that hasn't been done quite as well is Chip. To be fair, Chip is a mug, so he was obviously never meant to be in this set, but I had to get Chip, so I had all three of them together. So Chip is huge. It doesn't make any sense at the moment because he's like, you know, half the size of them two, and in the film Chip's teeny weeny. He's more like a shot espresso glass, so yeah, Chip's huge because he's meant to be a mug that someone drinks out of. So he's not really part of the set, but he's cute, so I got him. So he lives between them two. I actually still have my receipts for both of those items. So the Lumiere Candlestick cost $49.95, which is really reasonable, I think. When you're an annual pass holder, you're able to get a 10% discount. So I actually got $5 off. So I paid $47.88. Cogsworth is a little more expensive. He's $74.95, so that is quite a lot. Again, I got my discount, so that was $7.50. So I paid $71.84. And I would say to you, if you see these at the start of your holiday and you think they're still going to be there, they're not. So just buy them. I got Cogsworth in the first couple of days. And then I couldn't get Lumiere anywhere, and I was so terrified that I was going to go home with Cogsworth and no Lumiere. But I was very lucky. I stumbled upon him. They'd only just put him out because it was in Hollywood Studios. I'd been into the shop when we entered the park and they didn't have him, and I went into the shop just before we left and they did have him. So do keep checking back in the shop on the same day if you can't get one of them. So I got Lumiere in, I think it's called Five and Celebrity, on the first street of Hollywood Studios, and I got Cogsworth in the Once Upon a Time shop near the Beauty and the Beast Theatre in Hollywood Studios. So that's everything I got from Disney, so I'm going to move on to the Universal items now. So if anyone wants to tune out, then thank you for watching. I'm mini ears off for this bit, one because they're really hurting me, and two because it doesn't seem right to look at Universal stuff with, oh dear, with Minnie or Mickey ears on. I only have about 4 items from Universal, so just to blast through them quickly. The first one I have is really cool actually. It's a chocolate frog keyring and it's really well done. So there's the chocolate frog and there's the chocolate frog box. And this was $11.95, but I'm a pass holder there as well, so they give you 10% off there as well, so it was slightly cheaper than that for me. But they always do them really well, and they're really cool because they always put the logo on the back, which is nice. So I have a couple of Christmas themed items now. My first is some Christmas gift tags. They say naughty or nice. These were $9.95, and I got these because this year when I do my wrapping, I want to do a vintage Christmas theme with brown parcel paper and then red and white and green themes. They're from the Christmas shop at the entrance to Islands of Adventure. So the next item I have is another Christmas themed item. It's an ornament. So we have a tradition, much like the photo frames, that every year we try and get an ornament. And we didn't actually get one last year because the Disney Christmas ornaments have gone so downhill in recent years. Like, they used to make these really lovely big bauble ones that were like a Mickey because they were 3 baubles, and they just seemed to stop making them in that style, and now they do a lot of stuff like shoes and that kind of thing, which doesn't really float my boat. So this year we got our Christmas decoration from Islands of Adventure. So this is just amazing. It's a Grinch Christmas ornament, so there you can see him up close. And he is just so cute. We're both big lovers of the Grinch, so we had to get this. And our Christmas ornaments, our colour scheme is always green, red and white, so this went perfectly, and the sparkly red's really nice as well. Sticking with the Dr. Seuss theme and the Grinch, I feel this needs a little bit of backstory because this is another birthday present. And our tradition is that every Christmas Eve my boyfriend reads How the Grinch Stole Christmas to me. This year I saw a Grinch mug, and I really wanted it to make Grinch hot chocolate in on Christmas, well, on Grinchmas, and so he bought me it for my birthday. It came in a big box, so it's quite well protected. It was $25, $24.95 it says on the bottom. So this is him. I think he's super cute, and he's just the perfect size for a Christmas hot chocolate. I think he's been really well done, and this is the first year that I've seen these, so I'm not sure whether they're new, but Yeah, it's adorable. So what I'm going to do at Christmas is I'm going to have my hot chocolate in here, and then I'm going to get some real cream and whip it and mix green food colouring with it, so I can make it look like the top of his hair. I have one last item from Universal Studios, and I think it's probably their most popular item. So this is a Harry Potter wand, and this is actually an interactive wand. So it's got, they called it a magical crystal in the shop. It's got a magical crystal in the end, if you can see it there, and it means that you can cast spells, and it's really cool. I'll put a bit of footage now so you can see it in action, but we had some real fun with this. Some of the windows are really well done, and I'd advise you to do some research online because there's actually some hidden shop windows that aren't on the map. So not only do you get the wand there, you get the map with it, and the map tells you where the shops are and what spell you have to do. So there's a Hogsmeade side and there's a Diagon Alley side, and it's actually really well done. You could even frame this, it's that well done. So there's the Hogsmeade side, and you've got the castle at the top, and it's all numbered where the different spells are, and they're around the outside, and they tell you what shape you have to move your wand in, and they tell you what spells you've got to do, what you've got to say when you move the wand. So there's all sorts of stuff in here. There's Incendio, Wingardium Leviosa, Aloha Mora, and there's Diagon Alley, and that's really cool because I think they built Diagon Alley with these in mind. So there's lots of different shop windows, not just in Diagon Alley, but there's a load in Nocturne Alley as well, and it's always very quiet down there because I don't think many people know it exists. So go and have a play if you get one of these in Nocturne Alley. Actually can't remember what this cost me, but I think it was about $50. So it's not cheap. I mean, if you had a large family, you wouldn't want to be buying them for everyone. But we shared this between the two of us, and it was absolutely fine. So that's it for my purchases from the theme parks. I'll be back with another haul video with my purchases from the malls and Walmart. So I really hope you like everything that I bought, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them to me. It can be about anything I bought, the price of something that I missed off, or even if you want to ask me about planning a trip or anything about Florida. If you ever wanted to ask any questions, feel free, and thank you for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.